Yeah, g'day. Um, Look, I didn't really want to show you in here too much before it was finished, but anyway, someone wanted to know how I tied it back and how I fitted it. So here goes. First thing that I did, bring the unit in and put it together with polyurethane and screws, and then cut out my bulkhead, push it back into position, square it up, and then at the back corner, because there's not much support under these things, they flop all over the joint. Pack the back corner up until you get it dead right. Level along the bottom, plumb up to the top, and in position where you want it. So then the next thing to do is to get up the top here, mark out the back face of the top of the shower where you're going to fit an aluminium angle at the top along the roof to hold the front at the top. And down the bottom here, to get yourself some 2 blocks of pine and your block plane. And let's put it down here. Yeah, that distance in between there, the floor and the bottom of the shower unit, that void, make 2 of them. The length of the shower and exact fit between the floor and the bottom of the unit. Once you've done that, this is what I did anyway, you'll then sit your toilet unit in there. Through the bottom of your cassette toilet, you'll have 2 rows of screws, three screws in each one. What you want to do is you want to fix those blocks to the floor in line exactly underneath those screw lines. So I used angle either side and screws into the floor with Sikaflex, and you put those 2 down in line with those screws for your toilet, right? Okay, so at that stage, you generally cut the back out behind the cassette toilet where the cassette's coming out so that you can actually mark those holes. Alright, so once you've done that, you've got a solid base to sort of start from. Then what I did is I put it back in on top of those blocks, made sure it was all right where it has to be, and then I marked the hole in the wall for the cassette toilet. And at that time also, because it's in the right spot, I take my hole saw, use your small hole saw that fits your waist, put that through, only through the fiberglass. Make sure you check underneath that you can get them all, because I stuffed up and did the 4 of them, and on the 4th hole, voila, there was a bit of rail there, so I couldn't get through there and I had to do a bit of a repair job in there. Okay, so that small hole saw fits the waist through the fiberglass only. A bigger hole saw, you pull the unit back out, put a bigger hole saw through so that you've got room to fit your waist from underneath while someone's up inside, right? So we're up to this. We're cutting the hole in the wall. We're cutting the waist through the floor. Once you get to that stage, holes through the wall so you can access the back of the cassette toilet. The holes are through the floor so you can do your waist later on once you've fitted your unit. The next stage is, well, I did the roof vent later. The next stage is whack it back in there and fit your toilet. My missus is here. Whack it back in there, fit your toilet, and run your screws through your cassette toilet into your blocks of timber on the ground, on the floor here. I put Sikaflex on top of them to hold it, and I put Sikaflex on the angle as well. So Sikaflex, put it in, fix it to the floor, fix it to your angle at the top, bang, you've got a solid unit there to work with. Then you can go through and put your waist underneath and whatnot. Okay, so where am I up to? What I've done to attach to the wall is I've got angle iron, and you just put splits in it to roll around the corners. I just cut the shape on that one and put fingers on the back. All Sikaflexed on, riveted to the wall at the distance that you want to fit your battens. So if you want to put a stud wall around there, around the front and around the side, do that, but put your angle out where you want it to be. What else can I tell you? Just be careful of when you position your unit, what you're going to go through, because I was that tight to the one of these centre studs here. I had to trim about a third of it out. It's very hard to find a spot where the unit will fit cleanly without hitting something. But guarantee you don't want to hit these ones, the ones that run right up and around the bus. That'll be a dead set illegal job. So when you're positioning it, take your time, have a look underneath, have a look in the wall. There's also these ones running over the top that you got to think of when you're putting your vent hatch in. So I got it pretty right. Got the vent through without touching it, but I did have to touch that one. And the thing that upset me was when I cut the hole in the back of the cassette toilet, well, it really wants to be right on the stud. So I had to move the hatch over about 1.5 inches or something like that and box out around that thing. So it's not as pretty as I would have liked around there. I sealed the bus itself, but I didn't seal through, put sheets through into the unit because it's a little bit offset, unfortunately. But yeah, that's the go. Get it stable, blocks of timber at the bottom, angle at the top, cut all your holes, whack it in, fit your toilet, and it's as solid as a rock from that stage onwards. And everything you do from then on will just further strengthen it. You will, whatever type of wall you choose to frame up here, you'll tie that into the front, tie it back to the wall. And like I say, the easiest way that I found to tie stuff to the wall was to get angle iron. Up here I've just put slits in it and bent it round. Down here I had a bit of shape there, so I just had that piece and I cut slits on the other side. I bent fingers around the back here. You know, I got these folders and stuff like that to sort of muck around with. Look, you know, so it's not for everyone, it's not perfect, but that's what it is for me. And that ain't going nowhere, mate. You know, she ain't moving. These here, you can just about pull the bus by them. Sikaflex are stitched all the way up, and then when you put your sheet on, because I'm using a Colorbond sheet, this will all be battened out with an electrical panel here, and I'll Sikaflex the whole lot. They roll around the front there and clip on. So, mate, you know, it's as solid as a rock. That's all I could come up with. I've also got it tied back to the wall here. This batten here is folded around at the end into a square block and fixed to the wall, and then it's bolted. Can't really see because I've got a batten in the way. But it's bolted through a washer with Sikaflex and through the joining rib on the shower unit, either side. So I've got a tie back point on the joining rib to the wall. I've got it fixed to the floor with the cassette toilet to those blocks that we made, and I've got it fixed to the angle at the top. And then I fitted the face. The sides are a little bit wibbly before I put the face on. You pull them out and fix it, however you want to fix it, and that just provides extra strength there. So that's about all I can tell you. One more thing. This is a template that I'm working on. Interestingly enough, the driver's side template is different to the passenger side template, because this fits perfectly either side of the shower. I made this up on here, and you can also make something like this up if you want to put a bit more guts into your angle up the top there. Now I've made this, this is a millimetre perfect template because I'm cutting my Colorbond sheet, and you only get one go at it because I've got a fold on the face here. If I get it wrong, I've got another one made. So this is a millimetre perfect template that I'm making, and I don't know, I could put it on there for a bit of extra guts too. Like we can leave that on there before we put the sheet on. Basically, you see that? Yep. You see that fit? You can't really. See if I can bring you up here for a bit of a look at the fit we got. This is the kind of fit that you ideally want. Okay. Whoop. So, and we could leave that there for a bit of extra strength. So that's our template that we're making, and that fits either side. So look, I couldn't come up with another way to fix this thing back. Nowhere else to fix to it. You can fix to the face, so you could build a stud wall here and tie it in at the face, which basically I've done with the front. But there's nothing to fix to at the back, top. There's nothing anywhere. So you've got to make it a freestanding unit. And like I say, you basically got 3 points of connection, then build your walls on top of that. Look, it might not be for everyone. That's what I've done. And hopefully it helps you out. I had no success until I put those blocks in underneath. Until I got them right, you can't get anything right. And basically that's the sequence. Blocks, toilet, wastes and angle, and put it all together, and then go from there with your framing. If you wanted to, you could frame up. You could box up a frame and then bloody fit the shower later, but that was the easiest way. And I'll just quickly show you around the back, and that'll do. Just here. Yeah, good, Dale. Hang on, Tamara. Okay. Well, there's the wall. I don't know if you can see that too much. That's the colorbond someone was asking about. I don't know if you can see this or not. This is the hatch. Are you ready for this? Righto. Well, we've got to tidy up some wire and stuff here. But there's the boxing where I've boxed around, and there's the Mistakius where we can't sheet through. This is my loom I've brought through with all my heaters and whatnot. Here's our cassette toilet wire popping out of the loom, ready for that. Here's our vent here and our plumbing. And when that's a bit tidier, this comes out easy. Oh, it's a bit hard to go in there and show you, but the screws go through into the blocks under there. And then this is all boxed up. And unfortunately, I couldn't box it straight onto the shower unit. But in hindsight, I'm glad I didn't, because I got all this learned through and stuff later on. Okay, there you go. Take it easy.